Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, I just want to go ahead and share with you guys 3 trades that I currently have open. They are swing trades. 2 of them are calls, and 1 of them is a put option. In these trades, I went with very small size because tomorrow we do have the FOMC minutes, and I definitely can see where that can cause a lot of volatility and a few switch-ups on some of the technicals that I am watching. But I did like the setups on all 3 of these trades. All of them are very consistent with my break and retest type of technical formation, which I do look for in significant amount of my trades. And then the last one, which is my put option, is just me playing off a very heavy technical resistance level on the daily chart, looking to see if I can play this stock back to the downside. I want to go ahead and walk you through my mindset on all 3 of these trades, give you an idea of what I'm looking for on all 3 of these positions. As I always like to preach on this channel, always do your due diligence after watching my videos. If you like the trade, let me know. If you don't like the trade, feel free to share down in the comments below. I would love to hear your guys' mindset. Let's go ahead, look at these trades, get an idea of what I'm sort of looking at with the technicals, and then we can come back to this video and see if these trades ended up working. In trading, you're going to take losses, but I like to stay consistent on the setups that I find. If I find a setup which I'm very comfortable in trading, I like to at least put some money on the table to try to test my strategy. If they don't work, I go back and I see why. If they do work, I can sort of see why it worked as well. So let's go ahead and get into these trades today, guys. After watching today's video, if you did enjoy it, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, come hang out in the pre-market live streams every single morning starting at 8 a.m. All right, guys, so the first trade that we're going to go ahead and review today is the put option that I did enter, and that is on Walmart. I took a May 20th 145 put, and I'm in at around $2.30. I took some Mays because I wanted to give this a little bit of time. I know Walmart is a little bit of a slower mover, and I wanted to make sure I gave myself a little bit of leeway for this stock to move around and to make sure I'm not running out of time on this contract. Contracts are relatively cheap, and I'm comfortable getting that time for about $230 total risk on this position. Now, looking at this daily chart, why did I get into this put option? Well, previously, about 2 months ago, I got into some call options on Walmart down here at 135, and you can see that that definitely worked out very nicely. We are trading in this channel on Walmart for almost 6 months to 6 to 8 months now. We have been trading in this 135 to 152 range on Walmart on the daily chart. So when I see the daily chart start to get up to that upside, I'm definitely biased to taking that downside. And when we're down at the lows here around 135, I'm definitely biased to taking the upside. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and try to play Walmart back to the downside with a little bit of time after reaching this very technical resistance at around 152. We can see in the past we rejected here and we rejected here. So it gives me some confidence that we are going to start seeing some rejection here around 152. And if I just look at the last 2 days, if I zoom in here on the last 2 days, we can definitely notice the wicks that have formed here around 152. Every time Walmart over the last 2 days has tried to push above that 152, we have closed below it, leaving a very nasty wick on the upside. So with the previous resistance and with the price action that I have seen over the last 2 days, I definitely gained a little bit of confidence in putting some risk on the table here. Now, with this trade, my stop loss is above these highs. So I'm going to put my stop right above 153.33. So if I see this breakout of new highs, then I'm going to go ahead and exit the position. So my risk is just about $2 on the underlying stock. We can turn that red so we can sort of signify that is my risk to the upside right here. And then my downside potential, my potential profit is pretty large. The risk to reward here is actually pretty nice, which is why I wanted to go ahead and put some risk on the table. My first price target on this trade is right back down to around 146, 147, right in this area. I do notice that there is some support maybe in this area where previous resistance did hold up. So you can see previous resistance, and previous resistance. So I'm thinking if we see Walmart back down to this 145, 146, there could be some support that starts to form. So I want to make sure I am watching this position. If we start to see the downside, if it starts to work in my favor, I want to make sure I am monitoring this 146 level because I know that there could be some support there where there was previous resistance. Now, if that breaks down, then I think we're really sitting in the driver's seat and our potential profit I think could be down to around this next previous resistance, which is right around this 141. Right around here at 141 is where Walmart was not able to get above back in January, and is where we actually bounced off of back in March. So we can see previous resistance turned into support around this 141, 142. So I'm looking, to me, at a very good risk to reward trade. My risk to the upside is a break of all-time highs, which is also right where that previous very heavy resistance is on the daily chart, right in this area. You guys can see previous resistance right around here, around 152. So I'm playing off that technical resistance, and I'm looking at a potential very high risk to reward. When I see that type of trade, I'm always going to put risk on the table. It's not a matter of if I win or lose here. This, in my opinion, is a good trade setup. You have a very good risk to reward. You're playing off a very strong technical resistance with a pretty decent downside opportunity down to 145 and around 142. So guys, that's my first trade. Got some Mays, looking at a potential downside over the next few weeks, giving myself time, just about 45 days until expiration, looking to see if Walmart will reject here at these previous highs. That's my first trade. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let's go ahead and jump into the next two. All right, guys, my next trade is definitely more aggressive, but I also kept it very small. So if I am wrong here, which I do think I definitely could be, it's a very aggressive trade here, but I saw a break and retest. And when I see the break and retest, which is a strategy that I really love to trade, as I said, I'm always going to put a little bit of risk on the table. I'm not getting into these positions with my entire portfolio because I'm 100% sure it's going to work out, but I'm getting into positions that can test my strategy, that can test my trading, and I think this right here is a technical formation which I do like and which I do very consistently like to put risk on the table. So here is Facebook. Facebook has had a very nice last 2 weeks. You guys have seen that, and we had a very nice breakout on Monday, yesterday. We got a big breakout above last week's highs of around $231 a share. Now today, we came back and we retested that 231 all day and closed above that level. So in my opinion, we're looking at a very clean break and retest, trying to turn previous resistance from back in last week at 231 into support. So I like to take this type of trade. Why do I like to take this type of trade? Because my downside risk is minimal. If we drop and close below 231 intraday, I go ahead and get out of the position for a very small loss because my downside risk is really just about $1 per share to the downside, whereas my upside profit target could be all the way up to these 236 highs or even higher. So when I look at this, I see a good risk to reward. Here's my risk to the downside. My potential reward is a bounce off 231, which is a break and retest level. It's previous resistance that is trying to turn into support. Now, on this trade, I did go small and I did get aggressive. So I got an April 8th 240 call for $1.14. I went very small on this because I do have a short expiration, and also we have the FOMC minutes, which could be a very questionable event, which could definitely take me out of this trade. Tech did look weak today, so I am sort of trading against the overall market today. We saw that weakness sort of set in after some news about that rapid balance sheet reduction, which the Federal Reserve went ahead and talked about today. We'll probably hear more about it, about this balance sheet reduction tomorrow on the FOMC minutes. So Facebook will be affected if we see tech weakness, but I see a break and retest here on the hourly chart. Previous resistance at 231, tried to turn into support. It turned into support early today. If I go to the 5-minute chart today, guys, here is today's price action. So here on the 5-minute chart today, we saw a very conscious effort Facebook to hold 231. We bounced off of it early morning. We came back down to it around mid-afternoon, and we continued to hold this 231, and we even closed above it and held it near end of day. So seeing that hold at 231, giving myself a very good risk to reward, because if I see this thing drop below 231, turn it into resistance, then I'm out of this trade. I lose maybe $50, $100. If I am right, I think the upside potential is there, and I think the risk to reward is high. So April 8th, short expiration, only about 3 days left on this 240 call. I'm just looking to see if I can catch anything to the upside off this 231. I wanted to keep it small because, one, I'm a little bit concerned about tomorrow FOMC minutes. I'm not interested in having large size into that type of event. And two, tech was a little bit weak today, so it didn't give me the most confidence on Facebook, but I really liked this retest, and I want to go ahead and see if I can get this potential bounce off a previous resistance turning into support. That's my second trade, Facebook. The third one we're going to go ahead and look at is on Costco. All right, guys, third trade and final trade that I have on right now is Costco. And here I'm just looking for a break and retest of previous all-time highs. If you come to the live streams or if you're in the chat, you know that I've been waiting to see if Costco can retest the previous all-time highs and turn it into support. Well, today we started to see that. You guys can see over the last few days, we got that push through all-time highs on Costco, right up to around $586 a share. And we have recently, over the last 4 days, pulled back to previous all-time highs. Here was previous all-time highs, right back here on December 23rd, December 29th. And you can see over the last few days, we have pulled back to it. So if I go to the 30-minute chart, here is what Costco is currently doing at previous all-time highs. You can see we broke through right around this 571 area, pulled back, and held it as support. The reaction this morning on Costco, you can see a very strong bounce off that previous all-time high. Now, we did fade through the rest of the day. I'm not too concerned about what's happening here on the 1-minute chart. Really, what I am looking for, if I go to the 4-hour chart, is a hold of previous all-time highs, a break, and a retest, looking to see if I can get that support at previous all-time high. So I did get a little bit more time on this one. I got a Costco April 22nd 590 call, looking to see if I can get a little bit of a push off that break and retest of all-time highs. Back on the daily chart, you can sort of see how this is trying to form. I'll go ahead and zoom in for us here. Previous all-time high right around this 571. We broke through it. We retested it, and we are seeing if we can hold it. Now, on this trade, my stop loss is a break below 571.50, which is right around here, guys. So if we start to see this thing break down, 571.50, if we start to break these lows that have been holding over the last few days, then I go ahead and get out of my position. Easy stop loss, good plan, good risk management, as well as a good risk to reward, in my opinion. My risk is down below this 571.50, and my reward is a push back towards these 586 levels. I think that is a pretty good setup, good risk to reward, previous all-time highs, looking to see if that previous all-time high turns into support. Break and retest of all-time high. It's aggressive because Costco has already had a very nice run, but I have been saying that I've been looking for the break and retest of all-time highs, and when I get it, I always want to go ahead and put my strategy to the test and put some risk on the portfolio. So that's my third trade, guys. We'll see what happens on all three of them. 2 of these trades are consistent with my break and retest on Facebook and Costco, and the third one on Walmart is just a strategy that I'm looking to see if I can play Walmart within this channel. It has been stuck in this channel for almost 8 months now, and it always rejects off this 152 high. So I'm looking to see if I can play Walmart back to the downside here. Let me know what you guys think about these plays. I think all of them have good risk to reward, which I do like when I enter any type of trade. So if I'm wrong, I take some losses. I can always move on and find new opportunities. If I'm right, I think the upside is very nice on these potential trades. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. I hope you get an idea of what I'm looking for in these trades. Let me know what you think down below. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.